Welcome to the crypto day morning. Today's date comes in that of Saturday, the 30th of March, 2019. All bets trades and of the like. That's within each his own risk and their own reward. And for me, within GRS, not even going to try to pronounce how the ticker symbol is pronounced. It has had this move up to 20,000, coming back down, a normal correction down to 10. And I don't mean that sarcastically. Within its volatility, when you have a move that does a 3x move just like that, well, what do you expect? So, anyway, from that move, it had its rally to break out above this level. Not holding the greatest as of now. Doing a lot of the band flattening out, but it's starting to go down. Okay, we've already established support, we're breaking down lower, probably looking to go somewhere in the 7,000s. When we look at this via that of the weekly term, we can see that just this interesting series of events. Because from 2017 on, you have this move that comes up to this high, back down to this low. Twice hit to this high, back to this low, to this high, then all of this back and forth movement, but ultimately to this low. Couple hit times to this high, down to this low, up north of this high, down to this low, this high, and a few nice little spikes in here for possible trades, but to this low. Most likely the high came after that. I mean, there's almost no chance that the high was the first one that was hit within this period. Almost no chance. But that's something else that's would be interesting on a when you're looking at candles to just tell you what was hit first, the high or the low, stuff like that. And then from this high, it came down to this low. We just recently had this high. So a lot of good up and down volatile movements as it's developing what has been at least more of a progressive trend overall since it originally had its move back in 2017. And for myself, I can't help myself. I'm not buying now. So if it goes up, I'm gonna be like, yeah. I mean, I know I should have. I should have been in this the whole time. It's not like I didn't know about this because I did. I had fun trading this back in 2017. So I look at this. Okay, coming back to where we came from in here, coming down to 71. But 74 was what I looked at as an okay shot. But for me, 7,500 is a little conservative on those two numbers. Meaning, if 71 hits, I'm happy with 75. And well, there's definitely a better chance 75 would hit than 71. But there's a better chance 7,600 will hit than 75. Maybe microscopically. Just pointing out the obvious, but to me, it looks as if there's a chance it may go lower going forward. Komodo, I wasn't planning on talking about Komodo, but I might as well now. And there really isn't much to say about it. I just happened to say it when I meant to say theta. That was the plan on the next one because it's got the similar signs looking like it might go even further lower too. And there's nothing more to go on Komodo, but I guess I'll quickly just put in the weekly chart and holding in there right now amongst the 18 average of highs. It could easily slip up without even killing this trend of attempting to basically revert it because 18 average lows is rising right now. It's in at about breaking 20, getting to 21, it even looks like. Yeah, breaking above 21. And soon after that, in a few weeks, breaking above 22. So this general area around 21, 22 right now would be an area for support if it's going to break down on any significant levels, we'll say below this level of key previous support. And as far as theta is concerned, it establishes a couple times hit level of support once before the move up to over 5, once after that move at around 3,000. Broke down below, has been spending an okay amount of time at this previous area for where it came from. But we can see a little like curving up, starting to go down in a reverse U-shaped formation in the curve form of it. So the most recent rally here from 26 has come back to where it came from. Now been showing a lot of weakness lately over the last couple of days amongst the 18 lows. And on the single hour time frame, just not doing much at all. For me, I've now started to trade this against Dash. So if this goes lower, most likely it'll work out that I could just sell Dash to buy Theta, and especially because Dash is looking pretty decent right now. Within its daily, it's having a situation from this majorly set up low at about the 19 and change handle, and then around 206 it handled this level of support. Lately, it's been doing it at about 225. And amongst these levels of resistance, it's now basically tangling in with this little area. So breaking out above the 18 highs, holding and staying above it. Key support on any very short-term moves is 232 area, currently priced in at 237. And via that of the weekly term, we can see all this hanging in there amongst the, or showing strength amongst the 18 average of highs and getting out above with a nice clear break like 253, 255 area. And then I think this thing could be poised for a phenomenal break. And then you might ask the question sometimes, why would I want to buy it at like say 256, 257 when I can buy it at 237? And in hindsight, that's a really good question. But we're saying on the situation because if it doesn't go there and it just tops in this area now, or even if it just comes up here a little bit and then it starts to go over, well, you're going to lose out on that trade. And in situations when it goes up to say some key area, and even like 264, just some sort of decently noticeable move above. And when you're looking at the weekly term time frame, or it's your measure of trade, then that's when I would suggest, okay, if it's time where you're looking where it's time to go long or time to sell or time to short or time to cover, or any of that spot where you want to get active. And in this situation we're seeing here, okay, I want to see it get active. If for my stages 1 to 4 that I talk about, stage 1 correction of stage 1 band flat now. If I'm looking to see this do a stage 2, then which is what it's looking like it's going to do, then we're looking like, okay, it's probably going to go up to a certain level. At what point can I get indication that it's ready for a significant, where it's ready to go? We know we had established resistance established amongst this general area in here. And when you look at this on multiple time frames, a 4-hour term, I'm not very good at this as far as, okay, when's the most perfect spot to go in on a market like this. But I would probably think that in something like this, you want to see it get above it. And then you want to see something where it comes right back down to this level and then starting to just leave higher. And then if you, what number and how do you choose it? When it gets to a certain level, if it's just going up, maybe you're looking for a very small correction down. Maybe you just buy and that's how it is. Again, I don't make those kinds of trades. As I mentioned, I'm just going to wait for a certain mathematical pivot point hit for me and then play it there because only price pays. And well, I understand the numbers very well this way. Within AID coin, just really hanging in there within the 18, now entering closer to the 18 average of lows. And within it, we've had a phenomenal move. It stayed and held above this point since its last decline here on around Christmas time. As the last time it was noticeably below it was back in here. Last time it hanged bear markets below it was November, the end of the month of November. It has not done anything below this 18 average other than 2 very short hiccups back in here. This has been magnificent support. It's not always going to be this way. Whenever you have a move where you've been significantly bullish for quite some time, that is the case now. And then you're in need, whenever it's ready, to have that correction. Now, if it's not ready at this stage, maybe it's going to have another gain higher, which is like the only thing it pretty much can do if it's not ready to do so because you have your first leg higher from here and you establish this level of resistance correct successfully. And then there was this very interesting moments of multiple days I was talking about like this is I was just amazed by these kinds of movements. I became so amazed within this, it didn't take long before I doubled up the size of my position. And I'm glad that I did, especially with some of these moves up and down. And then you had this move in here, and it's like a statement. Okay, well, we've gotten above this high, and you're used to doing all these moves coming back, but have another one in here, just increasing where it came from, and then this nice little move of finding higher lows. I mean, you don't can't definitively pick each one, but the trend was most certainly higher. And then these series of different newer highs. So this set of highs, this set of highs, and this set of highs. If we look at the time differential from in here, the time differential from in here, and well, right now it's been a bit. We could have a lot more, but if you have a bit of time staying within this 18, doing whatever, maybe it goes down. Does it hold and stay below it? If you do see that, it's definitely reason to possibly consider a reversal. This thing could easily go back at 1,000 or below. But if you see it doing anything going above it, well, it might be just making one of these lines, which is why I like sell orders in place ready to go. But it's an interesting chart. And when it breaks above this, I've been delaying saying this for the last a minute or so. Breaking it above this, I mean 2024, whatever it can go to. And when it does something like that at any point, you really want to see it hold and stay above a certain area. So like we had this as support, we had this area as support, this area as support. Right now it's this. Now next up is supporting somewhere around here. I'm not going to say take care, but I still got two markets left to show. I haven't even shown Bitcoin yet. And those two other ones, not counting Bitcoin, is DGB and Litecoin. As within the DGB, I've removed the 300 number as where it came from. It's in that general area for where it came from before. Markets go up, markets go down. It came down from a low point of 238 up to 400 is now retraced down to as low as 285. Could retrace lower. If it does, I'd be looking for it to go down to about 269, 270 area. And it's just going to rework now in this bull market deal because resistance established. I mean, it kind of came down on this band in here, I guess, breaking it. So it kind of, okay, so it's bear market territory. Whenever you gauge it to be the case, when you got a steady declining 18 like that, that's a downtrend, definition of trend within moving averages, and this, of course, being one. It's a front-weighted one. I don't. I'm not too concerned about what the 18 average of closes is. Rather, I got nice little colorful band here, which gives me the highest and lowest prices, and prices that had within it. Well, those were areas, of course, meaningful trading points, and of course, inside of the entire band is what I call the correctionary phase. I mean, I don't know what DGB is going to do from this point on, and that's why I really enjoy the strategy that I use to just, okay, well, whatever you do, I'm just going to be ready for it. And then moving on to Litecoin, this is to say that it's just hanging in there, staying in this little tight, top volatile range, I think is an understatement. That's what the daily chart looks like. On the weekly, it's had its break above the 18 in here and has been going up for quite some time, for the whole year. A couple just pause months, sideways months, just hanging in there, literally correcting through time. Because a lot of times when I see a time correction, yeah, every time correction starts with a price one, always. Well, not this one, so I can't say always, I guess. Right in here, oh, time correction, yeah. I mean, it came down. This was a time correction, but I mean, it took this red candle down to get there. This is I mean, Aid coin before when it had that was a true time correction. So pretty much you never get any literal ones. But I've shown a couple, and it's going to take a long, long amount of time still doing what it's doing, which is literally nothing, to meet up with this 18 average. We still got another 2-3 weeks or so for it to meet up with it if it's just going to really do nothing. On the monthly chart, what are we seeing in here? Well, there's not much data. It's very choppy, which when you put At least back in traditional markets, you put two currencies together, they're supposed to be because of the basic matter of division for the most part. Well, these are two of the upper end cryptocurrencies. So you have this start move in here. You have this little sell, this little buy. If you count this, you go below it, but nothing more. Above it, nothing more. Below it, nothing more. Above it, nothing more. And now it's attempting to go above it. And finally, taking a look at Bitcoin with all these lines, which are Fibonacci levels. It's really not doing much at all. It's just hanging in there, just trying to fight above this 4100 Fibonacci level. On the daily term, just impressively making a lot of nice higher lows, but still has unable to get above that key point. It's just congesting, hanging in there right now, still above the 18 highs, which are priced in at, got the exact number here, 4,023 and 15 cents. The 18 average of lows coming in at 39.47 right now. But there really isn't much more to go over on this. Hence the reason why I put this video at the end. And like always, breaking out above this thing could be very interesting, but until it does, it doesn't, or it's not doing. Take care. Bye bye.